So after finding out that Doctor Who had been pushed away from 2016, probably because the Doctor knew what a massive shitstorm the year would be and decided not to help at all, the selfish arse helmet, I breathed a huge sigh of relief thinking, a year where I don't have to talk about it, which is a good thing because I really do want to like the new series, and I try, but it's almost as if they don't want me to enjoy myself. I've started taking everything with fistfuls of salt, and it's still been about as emotionally engaging as Frenching a dead salmon. And I have to remind myself that it hasn't always been like this. David Tennant's departure was delightfully emotional, and I was too old for the show back then. But like I said, I don't have to talk about Doctor Who. That is until I decided to look into this class thing widely discussed among the kind of people who ship things and get got right in the feels, whatever both of those disgusting statements mean. Suddenly, here I am again, in this universe that I used to love but is testing my love like an abusive spouse. Since this new spin-off is airing on BBC Three, actually now that the channel is online, airing probably isn't the right way to say it. Shat out, smeared against, I don't know, just a couple of ideas there. Since it's forcibly stuck to BBC Three, my first thought was how much youth patronisation would be woven into the script, to which the answer is some. The biggest problem really, though, is that someone came in with a clipboard and told everyone that what kids today really respond to is youth comedy. We really can't make any kind of show for teens and young adults without awkwardly crowbarring in jokes and pop culture references like a 90-year-old man singing Uptown Funk in a shell suit. The result being a huge disconnect from the characters. Doctor Who has always had a problem, given that it's all about space aliens and time travel, but because of good characterizations, it's able to create an emotional connection. See my comments about David Tennant. But because some cockhole had a joke book, and the most recent Now That's What I Call Music CD, we have to have lines that would make Bruce Forsyth go, "That's a bit much, don't you think?" I think it was when one of the characters said the line, "Holy Mother of Kanye," that I realised I would never have an emotional connection with any of them. Which is a shame, because someone clearly had a miserable weekend coming up with depressing backstories for each of the characters in an attempt to make us like them. There's Dead Dad, Bad Dad, Last of His Kind, chucked out for being gay, and the heartwarming story of a man who manages to remain a cunt even through the harshest punishment, such as constantly covered in blood like a gynecologist in an abortion clinic. Oh, silly me, I haven't actually told you what it is. Class is a Doctor Who spin-off set in a school revolving around a group of teenagers who have never learned how an internal monologue works. It borrows from previous spin-offs by basically being the Sarah Jane adventures without the fun or the charm, and taking parts of Torchwood that make it unsuitable for kids. This show has exactly the same problem that I felt Daredevil had. A good show ruined by easily fixed problems. Daredevil had the worst character in all of fiction, and Class decided to include comic relief lines in so obviously the wrong place. But you can tell it's a good core. The last 3 episodes were mostly good, especially episode 7, where it starts actually feeling like a quality episode of Doctor Who, led by an actress clearly just having a good time. Yes, there are other problems. It's very difficult to do convincing character drama when the pacing occasionally gets ruined by a CGI alien, so cheap-looking Tom Baker would laugh in its pixely face. And the opening titles need to fuck right the fuck off now, please. But if you're going to do another series, which it heavily hints at using something that was once scary but is quickly becoming overused, no, not the one you're thinking of, the other one, please stop trying to include quips in an attempt to play with the younger audiences. That's a recurring BBC problem.